So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. That's a beer, you're saying? Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. So this is a rare occasion. I just do not drink beer, ever. Not since college age, maybe a bit when I was in the Army, but mostly it's always been whiskey, and of course wine. But yes, so this is Erlkönig Hell. This is a beer that's made in a little bitty town, just southwest of Regensburg, Germany here, which is about an hour and a half from here, invited into Oberpfalz. And this was a request from a friend of mine as well as a community member named Sebastian. I don't do much tasting on beers. I can say that on the nose that it's pretty fruity, I suppose. Really don't know what I'm looking for in a beer, right? Smells kind of like beer, but I can kind of pick up some fruit notes in it. And on the whole, though, really very easy to drink. And of course, you could see in the video that I also poured up a shot of Ben Bracken single malt scotch. I figured a beer needed a chaser of some sort. But I got to tell you, Sebastian wanted me to try this beer. It's from the area here, right, in Bavaria. And I'm so glad I did. It is so light, which is what the hell means. No, it doesn't. It's not speaking of, Satan's domain or anything. Hell in German, it just means light. And this really is a very, very light beer. Oddly enough, it's very refreshing. And if I were into fruits and that kind of thing, I would probably squeeze a wedge of lemon into it. But for sure, this would be fabulous with a little bit of lemon, or a little bit of orange. I'm sorry, squeeze a wedge of orange into it. And I would use the oils from the orange to go around the tips. I think that would really enhance this beautifully. But I'm so glad that Sebastian, suggested this. And really, if you have a suggestion for something for me to try from the area or something I can get my hands on here in northern Bavaria, by all means, let me know and I'll be on the lookout for it. And so I guess a little bit more Solver's courage. I could get pretty used to that. All right. So, what do we got here today? We have I'm sorry if I keep on hitting this table. The eaves underneath the slats here hit my chair, and I'm so sorry for always constantly rocking this thing to death, and I apologize profusely for that. So, David P. Williams, he's had a number of grids in. Couldn't tell you much about him off the top of my head. For some reason, I'm thinking he's a mathematician. But nevertheless, edited by Will Short. So to everybody kind of being back in normal, this is just great. And it's just so weird having a beer in my hand. To be honest with you, I'm lucky I had a beer glass. Just being completely honest with you. I had one. I'm not even sure where it came from. It says Benai Koch. I have no idea. Some restaurant somewhere must have walked out with it or bought it, something. All right, let's hop into our grid and see what we got. Try to get over my shock at having a beer. Okay, so weaving technique named after a city in the Levant. And honestly, all I can think of is Damask. So, goldfish, maybe koi. Okay, this is going to check out Sylvia Blank, so-called Grande Dame of British cinema. That will come to me. It will. I just don't know when. Hopefully before the end of the grid. Pretty please. Out of this world. Pirates lack stereotypically. Elba of Hijack. And I guess that could be Idris. With some talk about him being, is it Sims? Order from an impassioned drill instructor. Wait a minute. What is this here? What happened down here? How did that happen? Idris. Okay. I think this is probably again, but it wasn't going to work there at all whatsoever with what I had going on. London and Budapest have had them since 1863 and 1896 respectively, and I'm assuming these are the metros. And swallows. Oh. Out of this world. I guess this could be divine, right? I mean, by definition. And letter that starts the most words in the dictionary is an S, and so I feel good about that. And so I don't know what swallows is, but I'm thinking pretty please is I beg you. Here on Earth, okay, yes, okay, Sylvia Sims, okay. So just takes me a minute. Swallows, abides. Okay, nice, really bright, neon. Pirates lack stereotypically. I'm assuming this is vitamin C, hence the scurvy and the need for quinine, I think, is what the tonic water was all about with the gin. I'm not sure what the etymology is with that, but I mean, pirates lack, I would have thought a lack of an eye, yar, one eye gone or something, but who knows? Or lack of a hand, and they're always missing a leg, I mean. I guess they're also missing some vitamin C. So, okay. Vitamin C. Gosh, I am so sorry. I hope I am not just lousing this up. We may have to go through a friggin' scavenger hunt to find out where I fat-fingered something. Okay. Unsomething here on Earth. Okay. Part of a fancy place setting. They beg to differ. My money's on contrarians. So, contrarians. Okay, making sure I spelled this correctly because not doing so great today. Musician, composer, Anderson of ABBA, and that is Benny. And my mother sometimes reminds me that instead of Christopher Arthur Scott, I almost was Christopher Anderson Scott, her maiden name. And I could cry that I was not named Christopher Anderson Scott. I know I could change it, but that's not the same, Classic candy brand discontinued in 2018. Have no clue. Giuseppe, 2010, City 20th, Italian, PM, and I think that is Conte. Place for subs. Still don't know what that is. I feel bad enough already. Maybe this I need to check. Tired in a way. Bit of color. Whalers Hall. Threads that are hard to find. Wow, that's going to be a tough Saturday, isn't it? Comestible mentioned in That's Amore. Okay, so we've got stars make you drool and paste e fazul, F-A-S. No, that's going to be too short. So I guess we're going to have to go with the pizza pie. Those are the only two comestibles I can think of right now off the top of my head that are in That's Amore. So, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Soul. Straight shooting in a grand style. So is this an O? So maybe it can be only. Oh gosh, yeah, this is one of those grids. This can make me work for it, and you're not gonna know if you're right until the very end. And that's the worst part, is because I won't even know if I was wrong or if I just fat fingered something the way I'm doing today. And I know it can't be the beer. But how about no spin? No spin. Traffic controllers with a question mark. I'm going with Narcos, hoping that I'm right. If I am, that's pretty clever. I'm sure it'll be pretty clever even if I'm not right. After all, this is a David P. Williams grid. Big name in flatware. I think we're probably looking for Oneida. Bit of attire, supposedly named for its original bright red cloth. And I think that is one of those don't be taking offense if you're from the UK. I always say Oxbridge because I never know which school, Oxford, Cambridge. But I think it's got something to do with their blazer. I know it's not Eton Blue, that's for sure, but that's about it. Zach Taylor, Cincinnati Bengals, okay. In a grand style could be nobly. Part of a fancy place setting, then I'm assuming this would be a doily. Now I gotta remember if that's a Y or an I because I don't ever spell it. Let's see. Here on Earth. She's like under the sky? Is this an E? Place for subs? I don't know, I guess it could be a bench. I guess it could be certs. I didn't know they'd gone out of business, but I don't think I've ever even bought any certs. It's one of those things that people have, and they're like, you want one? Maybe it's been a long time, apparently, since 2018. No, instead, I brush my teeth like 4 times a day. I'm a nut, right? So I'm thinking this is don't rub it in. I was kind of hoping that I could get something to where I could make this a little bit more sure. But I'm feeling pretty confident in it now. Threads that are hard to find. Whaler's Hall could be a catch. Yeah. So threads that are hard to find. Oh, camo. Okay, got it. All right. So thoughtful types, maybe idea men. Things put into decks, maybe tapes. Bit of color could be a tinge or a tinct. Who knows? Disregard. Okay, what do we got here? Acted in a grandfatherly way. Maybe, so maybe doted. What solving a Saturday Times crossword might earn you informally? Disregard. Oh, maybe nonchalance. Okay, so still not going to be able to tell what's up with the bit of color. Go all in. Oh, do you see it in there? Do you see it? Bet the ranch. I'm not so sure that I know how it is that I'm so familiar with that. It seems like I bet the farm, but for whatever reason, that R and the H really just told me bet the ranch. Let's see if we're right though. So they cover top stories and maybe insulations. Okay, clever, love it. This is a hard one. This is a hard grid. David P. Williams, but I like it. This is what I want them to be, right? This is what I get. Sit at his occupied desk. It's because we got a tinct. Tired in a way. It could be banal. Under the sky. Yeah, I guess I should have put that in. It might have made it easier. Small egg producer. No, not under the sky. It's under the sun because that's a quail. Still throwing them at me left and right even when I think I got it. It may go across the board, and this, I'm hoping, is a queen, because that's what I'm putting in. You got me? Dunno. Wine's partner, maybe to dine. Okay. 64 Hitchcock thriller. And I couldn't tell you by the year, but the IE at the end makes me think Marnie. Did take an entire class on Hitchcock, as well as the other one on film noir. Groundbreaking event. Solid red ball. If we're talking pool, billiards, I think we're talking about a 3-ball. So maybe nerd something? Paul who plays, so probably Paul Rudd. So might earn you some nerd cred? Is that what we're doing here? Are we earning nerd cred even with this fabulous Bavarian beer? I don't even know how to drink a beer, but I'm liking it. Okay. Temphu native was from Bhutan, so Bhutani. Groundbreaking event could be a tremor. Okay. And New Year's Day could be 1-1. Silent approval could be a nod. Plagued, ridden as guilt. Okay, ridden by guilt. Got it. Okay, so stereotypical tattoo on a poker player's arm. You got an ace up your sleeve? Well, actually, I do. I really do. Quick pick, maybe a snapshot. And let's see. Abandon as plans. Kickstart. Got the let out. Oh, maybe erased. Tried out, maybe tested. So kickstart could be to spur. Yeah. All right. Maybe scuttle. Like shrimp étouffée. I guess we're talking Creole. That's unreal. I guess that's an act. It's also good. And we have the aughts have made it in here. Wise guys could be sages and ribbons, but not metals. I guess we're talking about pasta. 100% could be pure. And man, I hope I didn't do anything bad here. But how did we do, Bob? This was just a great grid. There's no question in my mind that this is an absolutely flawlessly created grid. You could argue a couple of words here and there, like scuttle, for example. You could say, well, I mean, is that really to abandon so much as it's to maybe sneak away or something like that, you know? But no, I think by definition, it is absolutely, you remember these scuppers, or you would scuttle crap off a boat, right? You know, you get rid of it, abandon it, right? And so that's just, yeah, I totally get that. There's really nothing in here that can be argued with. In fact, there's just nothing. It's a perfectly constructed Saturday grid, in my opinion. Just so very well done. I mean, I'm sitting here in awe. I wish this was something that I had constructed, to be completely honest with you. It is just fabulous. So, yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and bring down our Bannière d'Adieu, and I think I'll toast up a little scotch to send us out until we see tomorrow for that ginormous Sunday grid, which may be a walk in the park, or it may be as difficult and as crazy as this. You never know what you're going to get on a Sunday. But I hope this is every bit as pleasurable as solving this Saturday was. My name is Christopher, and I'm delighted that you were here with me to solve this grid with us in this community. Just fabulous. And so thank you so much for that. Sorry, drinking beer. Don't want to be ungentlemanly. Good Lord, that's probably why I don't drink beer. Until we see you tomorrow. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Take care of yourselves and your friends, your neighbors, and especially your family. But by all means, take care of the person behind you in the queue. Be well. Cheers.